How's it going, guys? In today's tutorial, we're going to learn what is proportional lot sizing in the Forex market. Let's go straight into the video. If you're following me during these past days, the previous videos, we opened a few trades. So what I did, I opened an account on a broker and I deposited $10 on it. So it's only $10, but it's only to explain to you how you would have done this initially. And then eventually you would have do the exact same thing with $100, $1,000, $10,000, etc., etc., etc. So where does proportional lot sizing comes in handy? Basically, proportional lot size is the amount that you're risking per 100, for example. So for example, you can manipulate it at any time, but to make it simpler for you guys, let's just say I'm going to use $100, for example. Okay, that's the ugliest $100 in the world, but still, it's just for example. So say you have $100 that you deposited, or 100 cents, or 1,000. So basically, the smallest amount of lot sizing would go to the X amount of dollars that you're willing to risk. So that's pretty much how it goes. So in that case, it would be 0.01 because 0.01 is the minimum lot sizing, okay, that you can open the trades in Forex. So what you would do in this case, it's just an example. There's no rule, but in this example, you would risk every $0.01 you would risk at max $100. So for example, if you open a trade and it goes against you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60 or $100, the maximum you would have get until you get stopped out is $100. Okay, so if you get into this $100 of drawdown with 0.01, you would automatically get stopped out or close the trade or whatever. That's to represent the proportional lot sizing of this account. And understanding this, it's actually what's going to help you to manage the risk, to either be more conservative or more aggressive depending on what you're doing in your account or one of your accounts. Okay, so more or less, if you understand the proportional lot sizing, you actually can manipulate if you're going to be more conservative or more aggressive. That being said, if you understand a little bit of that foundation, that means that the higher the margin, the more conservative you are. The lower the margin, the riskier you get, the riskier you are, but also the more profits you make. So for example, if you were to risk, I don't know, maybe $30 per 001, it is more risky, but you also make more money, right? If you're doing proportional lot size 30 to 001, instead of opening only 0.01 lot sizing with $100, what you would do is you would have opened 3.01 lot sizes with the same $100. That means you can make more losses or more profits. So that's more or less what you're gonna do in this case, because we're talking about margin trading here. We're not talking about spot market. Okay, this is for margin trading. For spot market, it's a different thing, has nothing to do with it. But for margin trading, that's kind of how it goes. And I'm using $100, and I'm using $100 just to make it more simple for you guys. But you can manipulate to whatever number you prefer, to whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Just understand that if you go too conservative, for example, if you go, I don't know, maybe $1,000 to 001, for example, let's say you go $1,000 to 001. If you got 1,000 to 001, you actually run the risk of being way too conservative and not even making, I don't know, maybe 1-2% a month, which is not even like a treasury bond, for example, interest rate or a country interest rate. So you have to be careful with it because you are using Forex and high risk investment to try to do a higher percentage rate, okay, than the normal market. Because if you want to have the same amount of returns of the normal market, then you shouldn't even be here in the first place, right? Or if you want to do it, it's up to you too. But like, I won't judge you. Ideally, if you are using a high risk investment, you want to go a little bit more aggressive, but there's a limit to it, to how much percentage rate you're going to make every month. Okay, so for example, if you want to say you want to make 5% a month, you're not going to do that for like 40 years, okay? But for example, you're going to do 5% a month for a year. That's 60% a year, right? You can use the proportional lot size, for example, to 80 to 001. So you would have done 80 to 001, okay? Or 100 to 001. That means that if you have deposited $1,000 in your account with 100 to 001, how many trades can you open? Or how many 0.01 lot sizes can you open? 10, okay? Because it's 10 times 001 or 10 times 100, which is $1,000. And this will be the exact same thing with $10,000, for example. If you have $10,000 and you want to open 0.01 to 100 on proportional lot sizing, you would have opened, instead of opening 10, you would have opened 100 trades, okay, which is your whole entire capital. This is more or less what you're doing. And then how are you going to do this? Where are you going to open this? Which market you're going to go? Are you going to open 3-4 trades at the same time or not? Then that's a whole different strategy. If you're using stop loss or not using stop loss, then that's a whole nother strategy as well. There's a whole nother topic. But for this specific video, this is what proportional lot sizing it is, the very foundation of it. I'm not trying to go too in depth about it. And also, I'm sorry for any stuttering. It's just that it's not my native language, and I'm trying to improve to make you understand a little clearer. Okay. But I hope you got this idea. If you have any questions, just comment down below. Okay, I'll be happy to answer. We're going to go more in depth about it. So you have to study it if you want to make sure that you are more safe in this risky market, okay? But if you understand it, chances are you have a higher probability of succeeding in this market. So I hope you like this video. Oh, and just before I end this, what I'm using in my account, in this test account that I'm doing with you guys, is 100 to 001. So I'm using 1,000, but this is 1,000 cents. This is not $1,000 because it's a cent account, okay? So what I did is I'm using 100 to 001, but instead of being $100, it's just 100 cents just for the example of the video. And so what I would do is, again, I'm opening 10 trades at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll open a little more. I'm not using 100 perfectly. I'm using 90 to 001, 92 to 001. I open one more, just open the exception because it's only $10, so it's not going to make much difference. But that's kind of how it works. So for example, what I'm trying to do with this account is I'm trying to do 5 to 10% a month in this account, and then I'll slowly start like building it up until I do 100%. And once I do 100% of that capital, whatever, doesn't matter if it's $10 or 100 or 1,000, once I finish it, I'm going to restart and do it again, right? And that's more or less how we're going to go work around this market besides the other things. And yeah, so I know it's a little complicated. There's a lot of things to study, but if you just stay tuned and you study with me, we have a higher chance of succeeding in this market. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.